Well, how y'all doing? This is Brad. I told Teresa I'd do the video today. She's got a lot of stuff on her plate that needs to be got done right now. And, I had a couple things to say. I like to expound my wisdom upon you guys. I'm doing very, very well after the surgery. They wanted me to go in for physical therapy 3 times a week, and each trip is $20. So $60 times four is $240 a month, and we cannot afford that. And the first time I had hip surgery, um, I just I dogged it out for a long time because I did not want to go in. The physical therapy room, I don't like doing things in front of a bunch of people, and I'd rather do it on my own. And the first surgery, I kept canceling because I just didn't want to go in. Finally, after a month after the surgery, I went in, and they were kind of on me about, well, how come you didn't come in? And I said, this is what I've been doing. And they tested me, and they said, your progress is so much higher than typical, and so yeah, we're just going to release you. So I'm hoping to do the same thing now. Um, I don't know. One of my goals is to get out and mow the front yard, mow the backyard, but right now I'm not quite stable enough to be able to do that. So Diesel just did our yard just today, and I don't know if he's going to do it anymore this year, or if he's done for the year. But we might have him do it one more time, and then after that, next spring, I'm going to start doing it again. We got the lawnmower and everything, and I purposely wanted to get an electric mower because without a shed, I didn't want the gas fumes inside. I didn't want to leave the lawnmower outside because it rains a lot. And, I'm not used to that from being from Wyoming. So, yeah, my progress has been going very, very well. Um, I hate it. I hate that Teresa is on edge all the time. But every time I leave the room, she always listens to, you know, what's going on, in case I fall and hurt myself. And she doesn't need that kind of stress. She's got enough of her own stresses. So I went back. We went back to our doctor, and or our doctor's office, and this is the last. That's the last time I'm ever going to go in there again, because I like it when they schedule both of us consecutively with the same doctor, because I get serious white coat syndrome, and there's a lot of times that I will remember things that Teresa won't, and vice versa. So it just works out much better for us to be at the same appointment. But again, they separated us out, and I was told about a month ago that I would not get any script refills until I let him do some blood work on me. And it kind of irritated me a little bit because I felt like this was blackmail. But Teresa, being the wiser, calmer head, she said that just do it, just get it over with. And so when I went into the doctor's appointment, I said, "Are you going to fill a couple of my meds now that I've been in?" "Nope, we can't." "Well, why not?" "Because you tested positive for marijuana." And that's what was a big shock, because I do the gummies, and um, we have some legal flowers that they're legal in, I believe, every state, and that's what I was doing. And I told her this, and she said, "Nope, you tested positive for marijuana, so we are not going to refill your scripts." And all I said was, "Okay, we're done," and I walked out. And I've got a I've got a review I'm going to put on this whole doctor's office, because Dr. Engot was she was actually running the place, and she was just absolutely incredible. She actually listened to us. Uh, she didn't push us until we, we really needed to be pushed. So, but she got very, very sick, and she ended up having to leave the practice. And since she left, that place has gone downhill so hard, so fast, and it's not the same. And she's been not practicing for almost 2 years now. And the first year we would ask her, or we would ask them, when is Dr. Engot coming back? We don't know, but we're going to schedule you with her PA. And I cannot stand her PA. Her PA always acts like she knows everything. Don't question anything. Listen to me. I'm God. And I've had a few doctors. The very first doctor I ever had, and in fact, this guy delivered two of my sisters, and he was the same way. His whole attitude was, "I am a doctor. I know everything. Listen to me and do exactly as I say." And sometimes that's not the way it is. So I'm going to be looking for another doctor. Fortunately, I am on Medicare, so I can go just about anywhere. We did try another doctor, and I just didn't care for her either. So it's just, you want somebody that you can actually talk to. You want somebody that will actually listen to you, or maybe not you, but me. And yeah, you want somebody that's not going to push you. And our favorite doctors, there's Dr. Engot, Dr. Bartley down in Florida, and Dr. Lawrence in Wyoming. All three of them are cut from the same cloth. They, they listen. They always laugh because there's that, I think it's Cologuard, where you got to defecate in this little hunk of paper, and you got to scoop some out and put it in this vial and mail it in, and everything. And I tried once or twice. The first time I did it, we mailed it in, and they said, "Sorry, this arrived too late." So I just, I'm not going to screw with it. The other big thing I wanted to talk to all you guys is, we have the two dogs. We have Jujubee and Zoe, and it's really been nice because Jujubee spends so much time playing with Zoe and vice versa that they don't have as much opportunity to drive us up the wall. So they've been. Zoe was such a good addition to this house, and she gets along with everybody. Hang on, there you go. I had a notice about a phone call coming in, but yeah, she's absolutely wonderful. For some reason, she just absolutely loves me, and I'm really, really surprised that she's not out here now. But one of the things that I definitely want to talk to people is, neither one of us can believe the price of what it costs to buy a dog. I mean, we're even seeing We're even seeing just mutts, $300. You know, there is another animal shelter, and it's a no-kill shelter, and it's called Tender Mercies. And we have always dealt with, we've been dealing with them since we've been up here, and they're wonderful. They train, or they take animals. They have fundraisers in case one of their animals needs to go to the vet. Um, there are several times where I remember they had one dog there that I don't know what was wrong with him. I think he had cancer, and they didn't expect him to live and very long. And it was just absolutely incredible how much they babied him. How many people we had? There were people that would go to a restaurant and buy a rib steak dinner and take it for the dog. But you know, this whole that Tender Mercies is it's a great organization. The only problem is for to adopt one of their dogs, they want $300, and we just we just can't afford that. Teresa and I both said that. Okay, we've got Juju, and she is this hyperactive little spasm, and we didn't realize this when we got her, but yeah, she is a little wild child, and we've told you the story about Zoe, and they get along so well together, and and that's what Teresa and I are very, very firm believers in: adopt, don't shop. Because there are so many puppy mills. There's so many people breeding dogs, um, and it's just there's so many animals out there that are they just want somebody to love them. In fact, like Zoe, it just about killed me because when she was still living over here, they had a wire kennel. It's basically the same one we've got here, and they had a blue plastic tarp over the top, which didn't do squat for shelter because the wind would come up and blow the tarp, and then the little tray in the bottom of the kennel would end up, having an inch and a half deep of water. And I mean, she didn't have anywhere to lay in there. And I remember looking out. I'd let our dogs out at one time, and Zoe was laying on their bottom step. It was raining, and she was just laying across there, and she kind of acted like, there's nothing really to live for. And Teresa and I were saying we thought about going and getting a playmate for Juju, and we didn't. We'd been kind of looking, nothing serious, and then we kind of decided that, well, if it's meant to be, it'll happen. Well, and then probably a week later, we would be sitting out in the front yard, and Zoe would get off her lead, and she'd come over and play with Juju and everything, and the last time I took her back, I put her in the kennel, and I started walking back to our place, and she got out of that kennel before I could even take 3 steps. And so I talked to the lady, and she said, keep her. So we did. And she is such a gentle soul, and it's it's sad to think what she was going through before us, but she won't have to go through that now. But one of the things, and I don't know if it's nationwide or if it's just this area, but everybody thinks that if you have a female dog that she needs to be bred. And Zoe is, I'm guessing she's probably, or we are guessing that she's probably pit bull and lab mix. And because she's got the big soft mouth like a lab. Sorry. she's got a big soft mouth like a lab and everything, and she's just got the really easygoing nature like a lab does. And we're wondering if both her and Zoe, if we wouldn't have taken them, if they would end up for breeding, because one of our neighbors, um, and it was before we got Zoe, approached me about breeding Juju, and he said, "Yeah, we could probably get $800 for each puppy." And she's not a money making machine. She's a life, and I know some people have said that, well, in order for, I mean, yeah, we love this dog, but we would like her to have a litter of puppies just so she feels fulfilled. And I hate to say it, but I think that fulfillment is just a little fantasy out of their own little mind, because we've had several female dogs, and none of them had puppies, and they're all just doing, they all did absolutely wonderful. We didn't see them, um, once in a while a dog would be whimpering, or you'd hear puppies on TV, and they would, their ears would perk up and stare at the TV. But overall, it was nothing. I don't think it was an issue that they didn't have puppies. And we've got so many dogs and cats, that they're either wandering the streets, or they are chained up in somebody's backyard. And these people are just, they keep breeding them. And my uncle, God, it's been 30 years ago, but he was working for Metro Animal Control there in Casper. And one afternoon, I was talking with him, and he had tears in his eyes. And I asked him what was wrong, and he said that they take turns, or they took turns, putting animals down. If an animal had been there so long, or if it was sick, or whatever, they would end up having to euthanize it. And they all took turns. They had a week where this person would do the euthanization, and so on and so forth. And the reason they did that was because if somebody had to do it all the time, it would probably just tear their heart out. And my uncle was very upset, because there was a couple animals that he had to put down, and he thought that they would have made wonderful pets for somebody, but nobody wanted them. The one of the first dogs that we adopted, he was a Chow cross, and Pat Pat had all the teeth broken off on the left side of his head, and his left eye had been ruptured. Everything had healed, but he had been out at the Humane Society for 5 years, and the lady told Teresa that, yeah, everybody looks at him, he's just another black dog, and he turned out to be such an amazing little man. But there's so many dogs out there, and why are we breeding more and then putting all these down? I remember when my uncle would tell me that, yeah, this was a rough month. They had more animals going out the back door than going out the front door. And, and it's so sad, but we've got all these animals that we need to take care of them. We need to make sure they have a good, loving home. We were worried that if we wouldn't have taken Zoe and Juju, if they would have been used for breeding, or if they would have been used for bait dogs, because I guess in this area there's a lot of dog fighting going on, and everybody thinks that, well, I'm a badass, I got to have a pit bull, and it's not right. You know, we need to take care of these animals. We allowed them to be brought into this world, and then we're going to take them out. You know, I mean, there's nothing sadder than seeing a dead dog or a dead cat laying on the side of the road because somebody didn't take care of them. But I would plead with all you guys that we need to encourage friends and family to adopt, because there's so many of these dogs and cats that are they're just absolutely wonderful. My little cat, Bitsy, we got her in 1990, and she was 5 months old, and she was out there at the Casper Animal Control, and she was 5 months old, and Bitsy was going to be euthanized that evening. And then the other cat that we picked out, Misty, she was going to be euthanized the next evening. And we ended up having Misty for 14 years, and we had Bitsy. She passed away when she was about 20. But, you know, there's so many memories, and they gave us so much love. And the hardest part with Bitsy was the last night before she passed away. I was sitting in a recliner, and she, you could tell she didn't feel good, and we decided that we were going to take her in and have her euthanized the next day. And but she came up the stairs, and she crawled up into my lap, and then she laid right here for hours. And it was kind of like she was saying goodbye, and she was telling me she's gonna be waiting for me on the other side of the Rainbow Bridge. But you know, you get these animals that all they want to do is love. So you know, I really encourage everybody to push the issue about all of these animals that we have out here, that we don't need to be breeding more. You don't want to, I mean, going to a pet store and you see these puppies walking on these metal screens, and you know that's not good for their feet, but it's so hard because they want somebody to love them. So, okay, I'm done on my soapbox. So any questions you guys have for us, feel free to put them in the comments below, and we will do our best to answer them. And you know, I'm not sure if I foresee anything like this, but you know, if there is a question that it's just way too personal, and we won't answer it, but you know, most of them will be able to. So I hope that you guys have an absolutely wonderful day, and I hope that somebody does something very nice for you, and I hope you do something nice for yourself. And please, any of your critters, go ahead and hug them. You know, give them a big hug, let them know how much you love them. So, but we'll talk to you later, and I don't know if I'm going to be doing the next video or if Therese is. I still got to find a place that we can donate hats to. So, we will be talking at you later. So, we love y'all, and take care of yourself. And I guess I should say bye, Brad, or bye, Teresa, but she's not in the room. So, we'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye.